I never thought the day would come when my parents would look at me with something other than disappointment. But the moment I wired $1 million into my account and showed them the proof, their faces went from mocking disbelief to complete silence, and the best part, the golden boy they adored so much, my older brother, the one who never missed a chance to brag about his corporate job and belittle my online business, suddenly had nothing to say. I still ask myself sometimes, was I wrong for keeping my success a secret until the very end? Or was it the only way to finally earn the respect I deserved? Tell me honestly, what would you have done if your own family laughed at your dreams? Growing up, I always felt like I was living in someone else's shadow. My parents weren't cruel people. They just had a very fixed idea of success, and unfortunately for me, I didn't fit into any of their boxes. My older brother, Adam, was the poster child of everything they wanted. He got straight A's, went to a top university, studied finance, and landed a high-paying job at a well-known firm. Every family gathering was just another episode of Look How Amazing Adam Is, while I sat there like an unwanted extra in my own life. I wasn't bad at school. I just didn't care about the things they cared about. I wanted to build something on my own, something I could scale, something that didn't involve rotting at a desk under fluorescent lights for 30 years. I wanted freedom, creativity, ownership, but every time I mentioned wanting to start an online business, my parents reacted as if I had said I wanted to join a circus. Online business, beta, koi real com caro, ye sab time waist high, my dad would say with that disappointed sigh that made my stomach twist. My mom would jump in with Adam co deco, kitna main at car to high, tumbai usky terra stable job car low. It wasn't just discouragement, it was mockery. They didn't just doubt me, they treated my ambitions like a joke. But the worst part, Adam loved it. He thrived on being their golden boy, and every time they compared me to him, he smirked like he'd won some competition I didn't even enter. After college, I tried a corporate job just to shut everyone up, but I felt dead inside. The office felt like a cage, the routine made me miserable, and after 3 months, I quit. My parents acted like I had committed a crime. Adam lectured me for an hour about responsibility, but I didn't care. I had saved up a little money, and I decided to go all in on my online business. I started with small things freelancing, creating digital products, building websites, running ads. I studied day and night. I watched tutorials, bought courses, learned everything I could about e-commerce, marketing, and online trends. I failed a ridiculous number of times, but every failure taught me something new. Meanwhile, at home, my parents treated me like I was unemployed by choice. They'd say things like, "Tumhara online wala drama kaisa chal raha hai," with that sarcastic tone that cut deeper than actual insults. Adam, on the other hand, used every opportunity to remind me that I was wasting my time. Real money is in real jobs, he would say, tapping his shiny watch or adjusting his expensive tie like he was starring in a perfume commercial. One evening, when relatives were over, my mom proudly talked about Adam's promotion and then added, "Or hamara ch hoda, woab hai by mobile p games kelter ritahai." I wasn't even playing games. I was running ad campaigns, handling orders, and managing customers. But to them, it was all nonsense. That night I cried, not because of their words, but because I knew in my heart that I would succeed one day. I just had to hold on, and then things began to change. I launched a small e-commerce store, selling productivity templates and digital planners. It wasn't much at first, but my first sale felt like a sign from the universe. Then I started making a few more sales each week, then a few each day, and soon I was making more money online than Adam's monthly salary. But I kept quiet. I didn't tell anyone. I didn't want the pressure. I didn't want the sudden interest or the fake support. I wanted to grow quietly, in peace. Over the next year, I expanded into multiple niches: fitness templates, business courses, design assets, even a subscription service. I learned how to scale ads, how to automate tasks, and how to turn one successful system into 10. And before I knew it, I crossed $100,000. When I saw that number, I froze. I stared at the screen like I was dreaming. My hands were shaking, my heart racing. I had done it. But I still didn't tell anyone, not yet. Meanwhile, my parents kept mocking me. My dad would say things like, "Beta, ab to samaj jao. Ye online walla time pass band caro." My mom insisted I update my CV and be responsible like Adam. I just nodded and went back to work. Adam, however, took it upon himself to constantly rub salt in my wounds. Every time he visited, he would brag about his job, his bonuses, his company perks, his fancy office chair, his work trips. And he always made sure to comment on how I sat at home doing nothing. One day, he even joked, "Bro, if you need pocket money, just ask. Don't pretend you're running a business." I smiled at him, but inside, something snapped. The day that completely changed everything came unexpectedly. My business had been growing steadily, and with the help of automation and reinvesting profits, I scaled faster than I imagined. I hit $200K, then $400K, then $700K, and finally, one unbelievable morning I crossed the $1 million mark. I sat there in shock, staring at my dashboard, tears rolling down my face. I had gone from being the family disappointment to a self-made millionaire. And no one knew. Later that week, my parents decided to host a family dinner. One of those formal ones where everyone pretends they're happier than they actually are. Adam was there, of course, wearing a new watch worth more than my dad's car, ready to brag about something again. As expected, the conversation turned toward careers. My mom started, "Adam ko is sol fur bonus mila hai. Mashallah, kitna successful ho gaya hai." My dad added, "Han, hamara bara beta to kamal kar raha hai." Then my mom looked at me and said, "Or tum ab tak koi job mila." Everyone looked at me like I was the biggest disappointment in the room. Adam smirked. That smirk was enough. I took a deep breath, pulled out my phone, opened my business dashboard, and placed it on the table in front of them. "Actually," I said softly, "I wanted to show you something." My mom looked confused. My dad squinted at the screen. Adam leaned in with that same mocking smile until the numbers hit him. Total earnings, $1,047,982. Sales, $78,000 plus. Monthly revenue, $128,000. My dad blinked rapidly, thinking it was fake. Yay, kaya high. My mom's jaw literally dropped. Adam leaned back slowly, his face draining of color. "Is this real?" he whispered. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't brag. I simply said, "This is my online business, the same one you all laughed at." The table went silent. For the first time in my life, they had nothing to say. My parents looked at each other, then at me, then at the numbers again, as if the screen would suddenly change. Adam stared at the table, unable to make eye contact. My dad finally said quietly, "Beta ye cab si." I replied, "You were too busy mocking me to notice." That statement hit harder than anything I had ever said, and I meant it. My mom swallowed hard, her voice trembling as she said, "You mean pada hai na hai tha? We thought you were wasting your time." I said, "I know, that's why I didn't tell you." Adam tried to salvage his ego and said, "Well, I mean, anyone can make money online these days." I smiled and said, "Then why didn't you?" He shut up instantly. The golden boy had been silenced. For the rest of the night, my parents treated me like I had suddenly become the most valuable person in the family. They asked questions, tried to understand, and apologized in their own awkward ways. Adam barely spoke. He avoided eye contact the entire evening. After everyone left, My dad came to me and said softly, "Beta, humin tumpar fak hai, we were wrong." My mom hugged me and said, "We should have supported you. We didn't realize how hard you were working." I accepted their apology, not because I needed it, but because I had already healed long before that moment. But deep inside, a part of me felt bittersweet. All this time, I had wanted their support, their pride, their encouragement. And when I finally got it, I realized something important: I didn't actually need it anymore. I had built myself without them. And that was worth more than $1 million. So that's the situation I was in, and I had to make a choice: to keep enduring the disrespect, or to let my success speak for itself. Before I tell you how things changed after that night, I want you to pause for a moment and comment below. If you were in my shoes, would you have revealed everything the way I did, or would you have stayed quiet and kept building in silence? Because honestly, sometimes silence is the loudest revenge. After that dinner, everything shifted. My parents treated me with a new sense of respect, not forced, not fake, but real. My mom started asking me genuinely about my work, trying to understand what I did. My dad would peek into my room and ask, "Beta, aj ka business kaisa chal raha hai?" And Adam, well, he became strangely quiet around me. He stopped bragging. He stopped making sarcastic comments. In fact, he started asking me for advice. One day he came to my room hesitant and said, "Bro, can you help me start something online too?" The old me would have rubbed his face in everything he ever said to me. But the new me, the successful me, just smiled. "Sure," I said, "I'll help you." Because success had taught me something important. Revenge doesn't come from making others feel small. Revenge comes from rising so high that their opinions can no longer touch you. Today, I run multiple online businesses. I travel. I live on my own terms. My parents support me, appreciate me, and finally see me for who I am. And Adam, he's no longer the golden boy. He's just my brother, nothing more, nothing less. Sometimes I still sit back and think about everything I went through. The mockery, the comparisons, the pressure, the nights I cried quietly while working alone on my laptop. And I realized something. If I had listened to them, if I had given up, if I had doubted myself even a little more, none of this would have happened. That's why I want to end this story with something important, especially for anyone listening who feels unsupported or misunderstood. Your dreams don't need the approval of others. They just need your effort, your patience, your belief, and the courage to keep going even when everyone laughs. If I did it, you can too. Thank you for listening to my story. Like this video if you were on my side. Subscribe for more stories like this, and share your final thoughts in the comments. I'll be reading them. I'll see you all in the next story.